nobody gives. Potters on the radio, keep it clean. We hug that curve, sharp and mean. Dan the man laughs, take it wide. AK and BJ side by side. Bobby Joe cuts and Monkey Man moves hard. Viper stays cool, lover boy sets the lines. Flash brings heat, Rusty brings grit. Speed zone cameras catch every hit. Grip that wheel, hold your line. Hear the crowd, feel the climb. Every lap we come alive. One more turn, we thrive. Hard to hard, we run this track. Hard to hard, no looking back. Turn by turn, we stay in sync. Hard to hard, we hit that gas. Hard to hard, we move as one. Hard to hard, till the race is done. Speed zone it till the end on the screen. Living the dream. When the night gets loud and the tires scream, we don't break apart, we chase the dream. Left to right, we hold the gas. Name by name, we race the line. Hard to hard. 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 We run this track. Hard to hard. No looking back. Turn by turn, we stay in sync. Hard to hard. We hit that gas. Hard to hard. We move as one. Hard to hard. Till the race is done. Speed down. On the screen, engines roll. Living the dream. Heart to heart. Engines roar. Let's go. Cars hitting that track, helmet strapped tight, and a man up front setting the show. AK on the rail, BJ in the mix, Bobby Joe going low, pushing for that spot. Monkey Man dives in, Viper holds lane, lover boy keeps the pace, Flash making the moves. Rusty keeps rolling, pilots on call, race control watching, keeping us all in line. Grip that wheel, hold your line. Hear the crowd, feel the climb. Every lap we come alive. One more turn, we thrive. Hard to hard, we run this track. Hard to hard, no looking back. Turn by turn, we stay in sync. Hard to hard, we hit that bank. Hard to hard, we move as one. Hard to hard, till the race is done. Speed zone flash on the screen. Hard to hard, living the dream. Woo! Living the dream. Checkered flag dreams under our name. Late break action, nobody gives. Potters on the radio, keep it clean. We hug that curve, sharp and mean. Dan the man laughs, take it wide. AK and BJ side by side. Bobby Joe cuts and Monkey Man moves hard. Viper stays cool, lover boy sets the lines. Flash brings heat, Rusty brings grit. Speed zone cameras catch every hit. Grip that wheel, hold your line. Hear the crowd, feel the climb. Every lap we come alive. One more turn, we thrive. Hard to hard, we run this track. Hard to hard, no looking back. Turn by turn, we stay in sync. Hard to hard, we hit that gas. Hard to hard, we move the dream.
Finding a local, experienced custom home builder and remodeling contractor is a challenge. Since March of 1993, with a commitment to change and improve the quality of workmanship in this trade, Andrew Lohmeyer has strived to build his company to be the best in Maryland and build not just customer contacts, but friendships. ALC Contractors is an award-winning custom home builder serving clients of Central Maryland. A custom home builder that works with you every step of the way, from the design process to the completed project. If you'd like to see examples of our custom homes up close, just ask and we can give you some references. Contact us today to learn more about our custom homes, green homes, home additions, garages, home theaters, and kitchen remodeling projects. We can turn your dreams into reality. Call us at 410-356-7300 for your free home additions remodeling quote. ALC Contractors. Finding a local, experienced custom home builder and remodeling contractor is a challenge. Since March of 1993, with a commitment to change and improve the quality of workmanship in this trade, Andrew Lohmeyer has strived to build his company to be the best in Maryland and build not just customer contacts, but friendships. ALC Contractors is an award-winning custom home builder serving clients of Central Maryland. A custom home builder that works with you every step of the way, from the design process to the completed project. If you'd like to see examples of our custom homes up close, just ask and we can give you some references. Contact us today to learn more about our custom homes, green homes, home additions, garages, home theaters, and kitchen remodeling projects. We can turn your dreams into reality. Call us at 410-356-7300 for your free home additions remodeling quote. ALC Contractors. Finding a local, experienced custom home builder and remodeling contractor is a challenge. Since March of 1993, with a commitment to change and improve the quality of workmanship in this trade, Andrew Lohmeyer has strived to build his company to be the best in Maryland and build not just customer contacts, but friendships. ALC Contractors is an award-winning custom home builder serving clients of Central Maryland. A custom home builder that works with you every step of the way, from the design process to the completed project. If you'd like to see examples of our custom homes up close, just ask and we can give you some references. Contact us today to learn more about our custom homes, green homes, home additions, garages, home theaters, and kitchen remodeling projects. We can turn your dreams into reality. Call us at 410-356-7300 for your free home additions remodeling quote. ALC Contractors.
Alright, well guys, I don't exactly want to wait all day here, so I'm just going to go ahead and bring the broadcast up for you guys right now. Do not fear what you see on the top left side of your screen. That is not what we have left in terms of how much time we have on the track here. We are just simply waiting right now for one or two drivers to get into the lobby here. So, as the people all know, though, and me around here, as brutally as honest as I am, the old dead man needs to keep everything perhaps under control. So let me give you the rundown why it took us so long before we are finally getting live tonight. So, before we got in the lobby here, we did get word from the admins that unfortunately the lobby was not set correctly, because the fact is we don't want to run this place at night. For those that don't know, Talladega does not have lights. So, in order to avoid catastrophe on two whole levels, the admins and the drivers got a very smart idea here and made sure to reset everything, make sure it was set for the afternoon. So that is what we are currently awaiting right now. We're just waiting on one more driver to get his tail end in here and get ready to race here. But we got a few drivers out still practicing right now. You just saw two of them just a second ago. And the number 11 of Lane Powell, and of course the 33 of Jonathan Campbell. You see in front of you right now the number 2 of William Martin and Ryan Perrone. Those are the drivers right now, just getting some practice laps up here. Looks like we finally got our last minute driver. I think now we have the full 20. Looks like we were waiting on Ronald Robertson here to finally join us, which means we should be getting all set to go now for tonight's action here at Talladega. So they will flick off the practice lights here, and they're going to throw them into qualifying. So we're going to get qualifying set on the stage. I guess I'm going to give you guys some bonus coverage here on the channel. I usually don't do this, but in this case, well, I made you guys wait long enough, and you don't want to make the people wait longer than they have to. Coming down on the track here, we got our first row of drivers. Also, real quick, before I go too far with this, I do need to make a quick retraction. If you remember earlier, in last broadcast, I said that that last name Stinkman on Robert Dudley from old Dudleyville was probably not the best thing to put on the back to call someone. Well, Mr. Dudleyville has confirmed with me and actually told me what that was actually for. It's his dog's name. His dog is named Stinky, but Stinkman is one of his nicknames. So he's famous on the another broadcast audience as well, from what I understand. So I have to retract the statement, apologize in advance, and show some love back to Stinky, or Stinkman, however the puppy likes to be known. I've got two stinky little pups over here that never seem to leave me alone, and occasionally you'll hear them on my broadcast. So to that, Dudley, I needed to get that out and recant that statement, so my apologies again. See what the times will lay down on the track here. He's going to ring it up on the outside lane, trying to get some momentum kicked up here. William Yoakum going to do the opposite here. He's going to go towards the bottom groove here, see what he can lay on. So Yoakum going to stick towards the bottom lane. Dan Colson going up a little more towards the middle groove, up towards the higher grounds. Every driver right now, again, just trying to find wherever the best lane, the best run will be. You'll see the time start to come up on your screen here very shortly, folks. That will dictate who goes to the top of the mountain. There's the times. Pat Lane Powell going to get his lap up first. He is the one that takes the top honors. He's got a 53.11. Knocks down short with the 53.13. Jonathan Campbell, William Yoakum, Robert Dudley. Their times, respectively, 53.26, 53.84. Now, a reminder that some of them were going to the outside lane to pick up speed for that second lap. That can make the difference here. We'll keep our eye on here with Vincent Short for just a second as he rolls it right off of turn number 4 this time by and heading for the tri-oval. He's looking to set a quick time here. He's going to charge it down below the yellow apron. Don't know if that is in the rule book or allowed, but he's going for it. The time will come in, and it's going to be a 53.17, excuse me. It was close to 53.13, but it was not faster than the second one. Lane Powell right now still on the top of the mountain. Robert Dudley, his time, not much faster, 53.22. Next up on the bind, we'll see the number 8 of Ronald Robertson here, as his time was a 53.26 on the last go, and it looks like he actually landed himself a 53.27. Wasn't quite enough to take the top spot away. The number 5 here, Rusty Robinson, he joins onto the track here. His time is a 53.83 for his last one. Looking to set a faster time this go. I will be joining you guys here in the comments section here to say hello and read your comments. So if you want your comments read and everything, just feel free to keep commenting away. But just remember, we keep it PG around here. I will be watching that. Lucas Wright with a 53.11. He's got the fastest time now marked on the clock. Rusty Robinson's final time around, a 53.19. He'll get the 7th fastest for now. Lucas Wright, though, that's 71. Once again, he came out swinging. He came out fighting. Laying down a barn burner of a time there. Bud Like Mike has now joined into the session, one of our lone Fords tonight. A lot of Chevys and some Toyotas, but the Fords are mixed in there too. You got 4 of them actually. Fords are well known around here in the Talladega parts to have sheer speed and power. They will have nothing left except whatever can hold on to their drive and keep themselves occupied. Let's see what old Bud Light Mike's got here. Coming down that front straightaway here, looking to finish this one strong. He's going to stay above the yellow line there. Saw one of them at least going below that apron. Let's see what the time registers. A 53.20 for Bud Like Mike, the number 47. I know we still have quite a few left needing to come out on the track. We'll see who joins us next. Right now, that is the time we have left on the clock here. We have 3 minutes and 50 seconds left here. If anyone else that wants to try to make a run for it, looks like BJ Lane, Scott Cazenave, Ryan Perrone, Austin Cornpost, Andrew Lohmeyer, William Martin, Alan Marr, and Steven Harrison have not laid down a qualifying time. So that should be very interesting to see. It looks like checkers are going to come out here. That will be the end of qualifying race, fans, which means now is the time to set it on down to our starting lineup. Let's take a look, ladies and gentlemen, at our starting lineup here tonight. Presented in part by our friends at Buckin Resort. This is the starting lineup for tonight's Heart to Heart Motorsports IROC Series at Talladega. Start him on the pole. It'll be the number 71, Lucas Wright, the outside. The number 11, that is Lane Powell. And row number 2 is Vincent Short, the 15, the outside. And the 14, Frank Caruso. Row number 3, and the number 33, it is Jonathan Campbell, the outside. And that 67 is William Yoakum. Row 4 and the 5, Rusty Robinson, the outside. And that 47 is Bud Like Mike. Row number 5 and the 12 is Dan Colson. His outside all the way from Dudleyville. It is Robert Dudley in the 49. Row number 6 and the number 20, it's Benny Jones, the outside. And the 8, Ronald Robertson. Row number 7, the 95, Austin Cornpost, the outside. In the 03, that is Scott Cazenave. Row number 8 will be featuring the number 00 of BJ Lane, the outside. That 9, it's Alan Marr. Row number 9, and the 50 is Ryan Perrone, the outside. And the number 2 is William Martin. Row number 10 will be the 13 of Steve Harrison with the 31 of Andrew Lohmeyer, rounding out your field here tonight. Well, tonight, in the sense of how late it is for most people that are watching it off the stream, daytime around here in Talladega. Race fans, time to start picking your names, pick your favorites, and see where they place, because it's about to be showtime around these parts of town. It's Lambeast says manifesting a win from Mr. Powell this evening. Joshua R6Q, the basement is calling. You guys got to leave him alone on that. Last actually was not his fault. Heart to Heart Motorsports Streams has joined us as well. Larry Powell says Powell Sr. sending Powell Jr. a little extra downdraft for Tally. Dream of Diamonds, small Powell, baby. Martinez Flooring says let's go Powell number 10. And Mags 28 says let's go 33 and 11. And Tina Lane says Buchanan. Buchanan. Did I mess up on somebody's name again? Well, field is getting ready now to load up and ready themselves down across the track. Every one of these drivers right now only eyeing one thing, and that is success here today. But only one may come out on top. Which one shall it be? Lucas Wren says, let's see some good racing 33. Well, you drivers and fans have been selected. You have picked your spots. You picked your sets. Now comes the fun part of the job. Get down and dirty with the drivers, fans on their feet in the virtual world as they are holding up their signs, ready to get this one on by. Rack stacked and ready to go out on the attack. It's time for some action here at the longest and the biggest, baddest track of them all. It's showtime in Talladega. Field going to get themselves nice and tight, set off the gap here. Everybody right now just trying to stay in their lane, trying to keep themselves under the controls here. Tina Lane, could you let me know who exactly is the name that I messed up? Can you say that? Show me the number. I really am drawing a hard blank, like looking at the names here. Running it down at the moment here. Not hard to get this name right. Lucas Wright, keeping it the right direction, keeping it all right in his hand. As Vincent Short tries to get some momentum clipped up there with Lane Powell and Jonathan Campbell in the mix. Side by side, a little bit up on the top end there. There you see Frank Caruso here. Going a little bit down on the lane there and trying to stay out of trouble. Danny Jones getting a good look at all of them as William Yoakum keeping himself in play and in control. Oh, okay, Tina, I got it. So, Buchanan Resort. Okay, Rusty Robinson. Gotcha. Well, I will say this with Robinson. He is missing an end down there, but it doesn't seem to be missing the picture of where he's trying to get to right now, holding into the top 5 spots, 2 spots up so far from where he began. So as we got our Buchanan grid locked up on the Zort here tonight. The field right now just trying to find their way around the track and get some momentum cooked up. But again, you're going to see a lot of this too tonight. The drivers with this kind of racing style, they're going to be backing down and really trying to find draft lines where they can, trying to find ways to save fuel. They don't want to overachieve and under-deliver. They're really wanting to just basically make sure they maintain distance and controls and make sure that when the going gets tough, things don't get too rough. Get a little on board camera here with Austin Cornpost. That's Cornpost. Getting a good look here right on the rear end there. Benny Jones is trying to stay right in lane. Buchanan Resort man himself, Rusty Robinson, in the top 5 bracket, just right behind Jonathan Campbell, Lane Powell. Although I must say, if it wasn't for the fact that I know that there's supposed to be a 33 on the side of that door set for Jonathan, I had no idea who he was tonight. He's missing numbers on that. I know obviously it's the custom numbers. May have just not been able to be put in properly, but you still got the same day. You can't make this harder on the announcer already it is. You already know I'm messing up names left and right. Don't mess up the numbers. Well, nevertheless, doesn't seem to be minding it too much. Keeps himself in play and in control. Lucas Wright again leading us down the way and down to the field. Every driver right now just trying to kind of stabilize with that draft. Again, you can see just how hard it is to keep that draft under control. These cars are just shaking around and moving at top speeds. The speeds these things are carrying, they're topped out at about 206 to 8 miles per hour. But these things, if they wanted to, they can get well over into the 210s if they want. And that's exactly what a few of them right now are trying to get into. They want to get faster and they want to go harder. But at the moment, anyway, things are just stabilizing down. Martinez Flooring says number 11 likes too fast, and it says shake and bake, pal. Meg says, yeah, 33's number didn't transfer properly when he made it. Okay, that's fair. I can't make fun of it too much, but it still is an announcer. If I'm going to dog on the next gen car, basically having a hard time seeing it on the sides, but I can see it okay on the top, then I am going to get a little bit of grief when I can't see a number on the car when I need to. Larry Powell says, Powell coming at you like a spider monkey. Oh, that old spider monkey. I'm definitely not going to say the whole phrase of what that represents, just for the record books. But I think you guys know by now what that means. Dan Collison right now here, moving up 3 spots, starting in the 9th place in the 6th position here, just up ahead of Robert Dudley. As Dudley right now tries to get his Crimson Tide speed going and get some runs down on the track. I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, you could fit like 2 or 3 of those Alabama stadiums inside this place, if I remember right. Tina Lane says the man is missing tonight. Yeah, I was about to say we're missing old Bobby Joe, ain't we? Well, wherever he is, if he is hanging around with us, hope you're doing okay, Bobby, and we do miss you on the track. We wish you could have been able to join us tonight. You know, race fans, this track, again, so well known for so many things here. Obviously, there's a very famous movie they based this place from. But I think there's honestly something we kind of forget around here, too, is that this track, when it was created and built, there was only one goal that the old Big Bill France Sr. had in mind, and that was he wanted the biggest, he wanted the baddest. No ands, ifs, or buts. But you know what the funny thing is that technically speaking, it was either supposed to end up in North Carolina or South Carolina, even maybe around in the Georgia area. But the way the story is told is that, unfortunately, to get it into the North Carolina, South Carolina area, there was some written laws that wouldn't allow really anything on Sundays in terms of that motor racing, so that completely disrailed that. And there wasn't really any land that they could really use in this case around the South Carolina that didn't have the same issue. So when all was said and done, a spotter went out there in Alabama for Bill France, and next thing you know, they found all this big set of land with a whole bunch of runway from an old airport, and that is what has now created into this place that we call Talladega Superspeedway. Originally known as Alabama International Speedway. Got a little fun fact here for you guys. Martin's for you, yeah, no problem there, sir. Tina Lane saying, hey, first, you're last. Well, right now, I can guarantee you that nobody wants to be last because there is some movement up to the front. The number 11 here, Elaine Powell, trying to get some help there from Jonathan Campbell in the 33. Looking to shake and bake some momentum up to the occasion. Lucas Wright right now sees he's got company on his doorstep. Fits in short, pretty much kind of a fish out of water. He's got nowhere to go and pretty much nowhere to run off to. Trapped in a huge mess here and can't seem to get out of it. Side by side still, that is your battle for the race lead and really for position and gain. Nobody wants to give an inch to the other, and everyone just wants to take a piece of that pie. And man, they ain't jacked up on some Mountain Dew right now. I don't know how they are even breathing and moving right now inside those cockpits. The thing is, when you're racing at this kind of level, this kind of speed again, you're going well into the 200 miles per hour, trying to hold on to a car that, again, has the properties of a dump truck and pretty much has the speed and ability of a fast race, of a legit fast sports car. That aerodynamic dependency and everything becomes a lot more risky and a lot harder to control because you're having to work controls, you're having to work through the draft, through the air, any of those pockets you can find, any kind of openings you can get, and of course still at the same time trying to defend off those that are trying to get around you at a certain point or a certain time. It does a number on a driver, and it does a number on the spotters too and the crews, because you got to think just how much these guys are blistering around at certain speeds and timing and just absolutely cooking it down there in the lane territory. Getting a little bit closer on the gap right now. Lane Powell might have something. He's got company now helping him out. Robert Dudley and Bud Light Mike. They're all in the mix here. Top side, or the middle groove, I should say. At least has the higher ground compared to the bottom, but unfortunately, unlike Obi-Wan Kenobi, the high ground is not always the best ground. And that's affecting them, quite frankly, in the worst of ways. And you can just see, too, just how hard it is to get that momentum carried through, get some more momentum going up through, trying to hammer in, and look like maybe Vincent Short was eyeing possibly making the move up the outside there. I think maybe cooler heads prevailed, and he's like, well, wait a minute. If I do that, I might make old Lucas right mad. Whoa! Saw that little tail whip there. That car got a little bit out of shape. Looked like Cannonball might have gave him an old love tap down there. Almost resulting in both drivers having a little bit of a ride along into the shadow realm. Looks like it got a gap kind of stretched out a bit. Austin Cornpost has got BJ Lane, Andrew Lohmeyer, Scott Cazenave, Alan Marr, William Martin, Ryan Perone, and Steve Harrison trapped up in the back there. Maybe just setting themselves up for a long-term strategy and a big push to get around to the rest of the field. Hard to really say, but again, that's a very big distance to really have to make up. Now, again, they are nearby, so it's not like they can't get someone to start leading the charge, especially with Cornpost around. We've seen what he can do. This guy is all night long, or excuse me, all season long, has been an absolute unit and a menace on the track. He just doesn't know when to quit. He just finds that opening and finds those runs and just takes full control of everything. Well, 16 out of 65 laps has been completed. I don't know if that top shelf up there with Dudley and Bud Light Mike might be the best idea here. That is 3 deep rows right now with a car that's as seriously as unstable as they come. But again, it looks like Bud Light Mike and Dudley are getting kind of tired of laying in wait there with Lane Powell and Campbell. They're up on the top side trying to make something work because they are 3 deep up there. I don't know. I don't really like that strategy, though. I know Dudley is crafty, and so and it seems like with Bud Light Mike, he can really dial it in and get things figured out here, but it seems as though... oh no! Hold on. William Yoakum, that is no man's land. Don't go up there. He tagged around Lane Powell, and I have no idea how they did not wreck on that one, but good driving on their part. Well, that definitely is worth a look at the Speed Zone TV instant replay brought to you in part tonight by ALC Contractors. Let's look at this one again, folks. This definitely deserves a second look. Watch this. Look at this. Got right up there. You see Campbell kind of pushed up a little bit, and then look at Yoakum just, oh! That is a one-way ticket to the Shadow Realm, or in Powell's case, a one-way ticket to the basement. How they did not get into more of a mess there is beyond me. Nevertheless, good on them, but at the moment here, still Lucas Wright will lead us down. Lane Powell side by side here right now with Benny Jones as Jones tries to get him off his tail end here. Powell getting a little bit of a runoff there, got some serious momentum carried through. That helps a lot when you're looking for it, and he found it very well there. Now the question is, how will Benny Jones react? Does he try to make a move off from there and go from at that point, or what will happen? It's Lammy says Val doesn't want to go to the basement tonight. I wouldn't want to even go to the basement either. I don't even have a basement here where I live, and yet still don't want another basement. I've had basements. I love free space, but I don't want to go to the basement. It's not safe down there. It's not nice. Well, we got some movers again right now up on the outside lane. Dudley trying to rally the troops. He's got Powell and Campbell with him again. Meanwhile, looking up to the front, Corn Post and the rest of the gang has joined back with the group. I think this is clever driving by the 95 and the rest of the gang here. They saved up a little bit of fuel just trying to avoid getting too close to those packs when they start to get a little too rambunctious. Now, as JR would put it, now comes the time to bring us an old slobber knocker on this circuit. Yeah, I tell you right now, this 71 for 19 now pushing into 20 laps. He has not given an inch. Not even the guys up in the middle groove, not even short, nobody. He's holding that thing down to the bottom, gripping and gripping, and just hoping that he don't find himself into more troubles than they are here at the moment. It's Lammy says, basements are awesome until you lose a race and get locked in. Hal is definitely trying to avoid that. Well, what I'll ask you guys is, how long do you lock these guys in there if they go to the basement? Is it for a day or is it for a whole week? If it's a whole week, you might as well just put some prison bars on that thing at this point. That way they can't bust out of it before they know it. Ronald Robertson here, 3 spots up in front of qualifying position, started in 12th today, and again, he's been a driver too. I kept my eye on a lot of these speedway races. Anything with this kind of draft level, this kind of speed, he certainly has been absolutely getting some good runs and getting some momentum down there to carry, and I think he is definitely one you got to watch out for. And speaking of watch out for, old Stinky's got his claws drinking down on the track. And he is helping his papa get it done. Robert Dudley, we've got a new leader. This lady says you don't want to know. Oh, okay, fine. Dudley with the race lead, but here comes Bud Light Mike right up on the outside. The 47 with a full sprint, full steam ahead charge. And we might have ourselves a new leader here in a second. Powell and Campbell right now are pushing hard and pushing quick. You got 2 Toyotas trying to make things work. One is the pusher and one is the leader. Dream of Diamond says some straw betting and a box fan. Well, that wouldn't be a basement. That'd just be a barn cellar, as we call it here. Old Stinky's got to be proud of Papa right now because he is leading it down with the Crimson Tide. Oh, but right now, looks like he wants to keep the lead. He goes back up, and he blocked off Bud Light Mike. I don't know if I'd do that, Dudley. I don't think that's a smart move in this case. I'd probably back off and try to just keep this thing reverting as much as you can. Not only did he go up there and throw a huge block, he ended up just slowing down the field there. Lucas Wright not able to get ahead of him in that chance that he had. He saw the window, but that window has closing. Get a little onboard camera here with Jonathan Campbell at the moment. He qualified 5th tonight. And right at the moment, still just trying to get things figured out and kind of laying into the momentum. Trying to find every little chance he can and a little bit of a rhythm of shot as well. It's Lammy says he gets a box string mattress but no sim rig. Oh, now that's just cruel. How is he supposed to be able to get out of the basement if he can't practice? Ooh, Gamble, I'd be careful. It looks like the iRacing demons are trying to take his soul away from the track. I would not want to be him right now if that is the case, or anyone that's right beside him. Thankfully, he is in behind a pack here. So that's one less issue he's got to worry about, but that's not saying much around here. Just about a quarter of the way done with this one now. Actually, we're closing more on a third of the way done. William Yoakum. That bit of a weird start here. Again, he was in the top 5, top 6 there for a bit. Then got shoved back down as Frank Caruso has now moved forward. He's got Austin Cornpost right in the mix with him, so he's literally the bridge to the gap between him and the other fellow drivers. I kind of wonder in my mind, though, how much of a difference is that making and kind of taking into his account here. Bud Light Mike is still up on the outside, middle groove. At least on the outside of the bottom groove, but still just cannot get anything nailed down the track and dialed up. Rusty Robinson now making some work and making some momentum carry through. The Buchanan Resort, number 5, looking for some openings, looking for some help here. Getting pretty intimidating down there, just kind of looking at wherever he can. Can't get timid around here, though. You got to stay focused and stay ready. Anything can happen. But at the moment, they're all trying to hunt down this old Pennywise and the Clown right now because he is the one leading him through. Dudleyville is not letting up an inch to anybody. He's not giving anybody a chance. And you saw earlier, he has no problems going up and blocking for his territory. Not a move I necessarily like, especially in this kind of early in the race. But, you know, as they say, that's just racing sometimes. You're back 4 right now. William Martin, Ryan Perrone, Benny Jones, and Steve Harrison. Oh, there goes Cornpost. Oh, I was just about to say that was 4 in the back. Looked like they might be building some speed up. They don't have to worry about that now. Austin Cornpost going for a ride here on the back straightaway here. Not sure what went wrong there, but we're going to the replay. This is your Speed Zone TV instant replay brought to you in part by Tonight from Buchanan Resort. Yeah, you can see right there, just got a little bit lopsided and into a bit of a tail whip swirl here. We're going to go to the chopper cam. One more look at it. Yeah, Bud Light Mike just slowed way down and, well, where was BJ Lane supposed to go? Nowhere, except literally the very, very back of that 95. That was the reason for that situation. And what a terrible break there for Cornpost, getting himself into that mess. That was your Speed Zone TV instant replay brought to you in part by Buchanan Resort. Tina, I hope I'm getting it right this time. Otherwise, feel free to throw the sledgehammer that these people in the chat apparently have been saying we need to use on me. So now it's going to be a very interesting dilemma here. We're going to have pit road strategies now be put to good use. What will they choose, though? Do they choose to just get fuel, or were they choosing to get the tires as well? Now, the tires, the only real difference maker they're going to make here is that because they're not turning in as hard and because they don't have to worry too much about the sheer speeds and control, that could make the difference to just avoid using them entirely. But if I am the drivers right now, my personal thought is, if I'm in the very, very back, I might as well just get those tires real quick and pretty much run it down to the ground from there. Might as well, you know, because might as well. What do you have to lose? You're already in the back. All right, we're going to throw it down into the pit lane cycle. Not the best spot there for Lucas. Had to pull it in reverse and get squared up. And he is taking tires. Looks like everyone's going to take tires, surprisingly. But out of pit road, it's Vincent Short. Vincent Short, Robert Dudley, Rusty Robinson, Lucas Wright, and Ronald Robertson. Your top 5 out of pit road. Also, real quick, I think I kind of need to mention this too. If my voice does sound a little off or I seem like I kind of stutter or a little out of place tonight, just keep in mind last night I was out at my announcer's job at real life tracks, and either fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, it got wild and chaotic, and it was a grand show as the real world took full effect here for me. So unfortunately, though, as an announcer, when the excitement goes up, you got to get your exciting voice out. So my voice is kind of cooked right now. I do apologize if I do sound a little bit raspy at times. Doesn't seem to be too cooked, though. Will be that number 15 of Vincent Short, as he's going to bring us out of pit road with the top spot. Had a quick pit time in there. Actually, his pit lane time was a 39.18, the fastest of the bunch there. Like he just got in and just pretty much wailed on the boys. Buchanan Resort, number 5 right now, trying to get some momentum carried through again. He was in that fight earlier on. Definitely laying it down quick and laying it down fast. Again, a big thank you as well to their sponsors here for helping us get to the action tonight with Allen T. Buick GMC and, of course, ALC Contractors. Big thank you to them, and of course, big shout out to Heart Motorsports for allowing us to come on board here and be able to do this IROC series with them. It's been a true honor and a pleasure. And race fans, as always, you come in droves and you come out swinging. We love it here. We do appreciate you coming by, and we hope you continue to enjoy this race and the rest of the season as we pull through. So nearly halfway done here, race fans. Vincent Short will lead us to the green this next time on by. Vincent, we're supposed to stay behind the pace truck, not go right beside it. I think he's listening down there, folks. I think he realizes, oh, yeah, maybe I should not go up there. Unless he's paying tribute to a certain rowdy boy down there. Then I may be able to forgive him. Or at least give him some slack in this case. But unlike Daytona, where there is a pond in the middle to actually throw out some slack and get some good fishing catches, there ain't nothing around these parts of town. It's all Alabama dry grass and a whole bunch of sheer speed and terror ripping around this 2.66 mile in length track. Let's see how this one cooks up and shapes up here. Joshua R6 says, Val, your Forza account is mine in your basement, bud. Well, pal, I don't know what to tell you at this point. The crowd is all but just basically told you what you got to do, so you might want to start figuring this out, my friend. I do wonder, though, does he get annoyed at me for, like, reading off every single comment that comes out and, like, everything else I see? I wonder if he has anything to say for that in this case. Well, we're going to find out because we're about to bring it back to the green flag on the go. Pace truck is off. We're going to get him stacked, and ready to go back on the attack. Tighten the seatbelts up, boys, because it's about to go racing once again. On to the front straightaway here, leading us down. Looking for the Buchanan Resort restart zone. There it is, and here we go again. Rusty Robinson right now are going to get a lot of momentum cooked up on the lanes here as Ronald Robertson, the Pennzoil 8, now trying to get something dialed in with him. The TVM 15, though, of Short holds the lead. Frank Caruso and Dan Collison now up on the bottom in the outside groove, respectfully. Starting to take aim and kind of ready up the fire. The cannons are now working at full steam, and the outside groove has got something in the middle. Working hard, trying to build up the power. They know they cannot make anything work less than that. Trying to hang on, trying to stay in control of their own destiny here. No driver is safe here, and they know it too. 31 of Andrew Lohmeyer right now, still paying tribute to the Rowdy Forever with his signage and everything up there. But at the moment, he started dead last today. He is currently in 13th. To be feeling that hard charge coming along, getting that power viewed up on the speeds here. Alan Marr in the 9 here, going right into the mix and right up into the drive. The Jags 9 machine to the Fords camp. Trying to work with the other Fords of Bud Light Mike and Jonathan Campbell. Just trying to see where he can kind of lay down into the speed and the momentum in here. This has got to be something really tricky for these drivers right now. Trying to keep, whoa. Well, that was definitely pushing some boundaries. I think Dudley was trying to get into the no-no square of Lucas Wright once again, and unfortunately he figured out that one wasn't going to work this time. Found himself in a very precarious situation and almost banished him back to the shadow realm. I think old Sneaky is not going to be too thrilled with that one. But nevertheless, field now kind of getting themselves wrapped back in. BJ Lane, again, to the one that caused the caution to come out in the first place, although really can't be fully blamed on him. What are you supposed to do in corn post? Basically just stops right in front of you at and that kind of speed and that kind of lane here. He's thankfully been able to kind of keep the control and maintain the distance. We are now halfway done with this one. With Lucas Wright still holding on the lead. Again, he's been leading the most laps today, but his problem is that he has not been the one that's in full consistency and control mode. He's actually been passed up quite a few times here, and I think that might be kind of weighing on him, kind of giving him a little bit of that feedback and that feeling of just needing to get things squared up more on the track. But how can you here when you got guys like this guy right here in the 12 of Dan Collison, breathing down your neck and looking for anything they can to take control of this one? It's got to be literally eating and figuratively just pounding away into the mind and the psyche of a driver as well as your own well-being. Tina Lane says Ostiki is funny. Fair enough. Hey, at the end of the day, Robert Dudley literally told me what that back of that thing says. And so he explained it, and that's what it ended up being. So I'm only going off what he told me. Dan Collison here just trying to get some run off of that 71 of Lucas Wright, looking for an opening or two. Just can't seem to grasp it or get it just yet. Man, he's got to be absolutely just tanking inside that cockpit, just absolutely getting more and more kind of furious on the binders and more hard on himself, just trying not to give into that racing instinct, which is to make the pass and go for the run. The one thing as a driver you don't ever want to be is literally behind the leader. If you're the leader, the last thing you ever want to do is give up that spot. Now I got you there, Tina. Don't worry. Gonna look back in the pack right now a little bit, show some love in the rest of the field. Scott Casamade qualified in 14th, early in the 50 slot, but again, you see a lot of drivers are being awfully patient and more controlled and reserved. And again, it's not for a lack of trying or a lack of instinct. It's really because they need to stay focused on keeping their machines in one piece, keep themselves under control and intact. And so far, Robert Dudley, the only one on the top side, trying to get something worked there, but he is getting a little bit of a welcoming committee from Steve Harrison here. Looks like Steve's trying to get there with Dudley, and now even the 0-2 taking a little bit of a look around there. Excuse me, the 2, William Martin. Harrison was going up. Well, he found a whole bunch of speed. He's got a Starman initiated from the Mario universe. He's running, and he's cooking. Look at him. He hit a Starman. Now he is just absolutely playing into the thick of it, getting into the weeds and into the mess with his Vipers 13. But that speed and power got slowed down a bit, and you can see the Georgia number 2 of William Martin kind of just derailing it a little bit by slowing him up, taking up some of that side draft and taking away that fresh, clean, good old air. Frank Caruso, though, looks like maybe he might try to make a run for it here. He's going up on the outside binders here, trying to get something worked in as well. Bud Light Mike in that mess as well in there. And it seems though old Dudleyville has unfortunately retreated back to the bottom. I don't know if I can say that one out loud there, Tina, but I'll let you decide that one for yourself. Caruso looking for some help, and right now looking to acquire it from the field behind him. Corn post, though, you can see literally just kind of eating away at him and trying to push away his momentum. Now looking to dip back in the bottom again, secure the draft, get yourself clean air for a second, and then bring it back into the clutches of pure speed and draft. And maybe you'll be able to get up to where the old 71, 12, 15 are. Time running out right now here. You know, kind of thinking about it too, race fans. Let's do a little history lesson here for you folks. But I want to ask you a very serious question for a second. Which track out there do you think has literally the most purpose and the most change in terms of what NASCAR today is in your mind? I'm genuine. This is a genuine question. Again, you probably already know the answer, but in terms of most influential for good and bad, which one would it be? In your minds, I'll let you decide and let you say in the comments. But if I'm being real, I think honestly, if we look at Talladega, it probably is that track. Hear me out. When it was built, again, it was the biggest and the baddest, right? That was its purpose. What you don't know, though, is that first race that they ever held off here, that was only ran with 3 competitive cars. Yes, you heard me right. There's only 3 competitive Cup Series cars that ran that day on this circuit. They actually had the feeder series that ran smaller pony cars, if you will, running with them on that same day. So that day there was 2 Daytona True Chargers, both from Dodge, and then of course there was ouch. Well, there goes that history lesson. I'll get to it in a minute because we got a problem. There's problems down on turn number 3 and 4. Dudley and Short connecting off the corner and into the wall, and you got to pile up down in turn number 4. Oh, man. Terrible, terrible lick there, unfortunately. Nothing they can do about that one. That was a nasty hit, but let's take a look at the replay. This replay is sponsored in part by our friends at Spa Auto Sales. Watch this. DJ just came right up into the 15. And Robert, he was trying to get away from, I believe that might have been the 31 there. And then the next thing you know, well, let's just say it's a meeting of the minds here. Take one more look at it here. We'll see if we get a better angle from that spot on the hit. All right, watch carefully again. See right here, looks like again, Vincent Short trying to make a run. Look at him, he's trying to go down in, backs off. BJ slightly comes up. And again, right there, you see the 49. He was trying to avoid the 31, but again, just how quickly things can get out of control and hard to handle. And then all of a sudden, wham, bam, and we are out of this one, ma'am. Nasty, nasty collision there on that end of the front. Thankfully, all drivers are okay. They're going to get themselves squared up here and try to bring it back to the track here. Okay, where was I at? Oh, yeah. So, the funny story there is that even though there was only 3 cars, because Chrysler Corps had a brand new Charger that you might know very well as the Daytona Charger. Yes, that big wing machine made its debut on this track in 1969 when this place opened up. And the funny thing is that even though there was only 3 competitive cars, apparently there was a old live timing issue that was very well known around that time in that frame. And so the story goes that the old Charger from the Dodge dealers had actually won the race, but because the Chrysler Corps had been put into victory lane, to this day, that whole team that drove that machine had said, no, we won that race fair and square, but there may have been some, I don't know, some meddling around from Chrysler Corps and NASCAR. We'll just say that. So that's literally how this whole race started. It started with 3 competitive cars and literally a track that was eating and tearing away. Oh, yeah, I should have mentioned that. It was literally the whole tire war as well going on at the time. Man, I got to do a better history lesson. I'm sorry, guys. But basically, there was a tire war going on as well at the time. That was between Firestone and Goodyear. Sound familiar to later on? The thing is, though, is that Firestone could not figure out how to get a good tire set, neither could Goodyear. And at the last minute, Goodyear did finally find a set of tires that were able to work with not only just the Cup cars, but with the pony cars, and even the pony cars, like Mustangs, you know, Chevelles and all of them. They actually ran their race before and that Cup race with them on the same set of tires. And the funny thing is that one of those pony cars actually did beat a Cup car. I don't remember who exactly, but I do know that number 71 did not get ahead of him here. He actually finished at 4th. So technically speaking, one of the pony cars, or if you want to consider it these days, one of the O'Reilly Series Auto Parts cars beat a NASCAR Cup car back then. So yeah, and I'm not making this up either. This is true history, in fact. So now let's just kind of get the story kind of wrapped up. But another reason too I say this track is so influential is look at the history of what this track has done. It gave us some spectacular moments with, of course, the Allisons, the Alabama game, ruling the parts of town and coming around here more often than not, coming into victory lane. But it also almost gave us a Le Mans disaster situation not too long in the near future when Bobby Allison's car, the father of Davey Allison, had ended up going airborne into that fence when the engine blew and the tire blew out on him, sending him screaming into the fence. Thankfully, nobody was, deceased from it, but they did have some injuries, obviously. So that was what began into the mid-'80s with the restrictor plates. Yes, the reason you see pack racing and you see what we're seeing right now and why things can't go full steam ahead and everything, that's because of that wreck particularly. That's when restrictor plates were invested and invented to put into these machines. And now, that is the reason why we have pack racing today. It was all because of that one wreck. And in many ways, too, this place is well known for giving us the underdog story. So, like I said, I'll ask you guys again, if you can pick one track, which one would be the most influential in terms of NASCAR-related stuff? And maybe in racing in general, in my opinion. I would love to know, but if I had to put my money down on anything, I think I got to give it to Talladega. All right, well, enough of history lessons and enough of that. I think you fans are ready to get back down to business and back down to the track. As you've made your thoughts and points clear on the circuit here, the drivers are now ready to get their thoughts cleared and make sure they are only focused on what lies ahead. We are bringing Lucas Wright and Dan Colson back into the shot here. Which one of these drivers is going to take the top honors and take the top spot away? We will find out here very shortly. Bringing us back down to the Buchanan Resort restart zone. See what these boys got in store for us here as we wave them back down to the green. Time to charge them back up and let the zoomies flow. It's green flag once more for Heart to Heart Motorsports. Colson with a huge run out of the gate and immediately taking a liking to it, gets a move off and takes it right up ahead of Lucas Wright. That was a strong start, and from my calculations, he got a much better run off there than Lucas did. Not sure if he backed off a little bit and then kind of got ready to send it when they got to the green, but no official call on a penalty there, so it looks like he's okay in this case. He will be the new leader. Meanwhile, into the mix here, Rusty Robinson trying to get Bud Light Mike a shot at pushing this thing into the ground and pushing this run off. Steve Harrison and Robert Dudley joining them. But the rest of the field opting to go to the bottom. With 20 laps now left to go. Things could get interesting here. Oh, wait a minute. I just realized something. Robert Dudley, he's actually a lap down. And I believe he might be our only driver that's a lap down. Yes, that's the word I'm getting. Dudley a lap down. So at this point, he's just pretty much helping himself and trying to get his lap back. And look out behind you, folks. You've got a whole set of them trying to get that middle road growing. Can the high ground work for them this time? Doesn't look like it so far. A lot of them backtracking and getting back down the bottom lane. They didn't want to go up there, and they didn't want to get the speed kicking, so they opted to get away from there. Field working their way through, just trying to get what they can nail down to the circuit. Andrew Lohmeyer right now, 11 spots up, now 12. He's obviously going to be the Hard Charger Award recipient if he keeps this going. The only one that can try to top him is Alan Marr, and that number 9 is currently 10 spots up at the moment. Slight slowdown there for Lohmeyer. Looked like maybe he had to try to back out, not get himself into a mess there with Caruso. Boy, you can just feel that power coming down through the lanes and into the chicanes. Absolute momentous occasions here with 200 plus miles per hour hit on the circuits. Right now they're pushing at 200. But if they, oh, the big one! The big one has struck. And a nasty collision for 5 or 6 of these guys that are coming down onto the turn number 1 as the yellow is out once more. We'll go to our Spa Auto Sales instant replay here and see what exactly transpired that got this whole mess going. Take a look at this. They stacked up again, and look at that. As soon as they stacked up, bam! Wham, bammed, and jammed up down these parts of town. Oh my word! Again, it looked like a good couple of them just could not get that thing squared back up and then get the speed back going, and that's what caused that terrible wreck here to start. Let's see, one look here. It looks to me, maybe it's just me, but it looks like the 9 of Alan Marr might have slowed down a bit, and that's what might have started that chain reaction. Wasn't the absolute big one that we were expecting it might be, but it was a big one nevertheless. That might be the closest one we get to the biggest of them here. We'll have 15 laps left to go by the time we get to the restart zone, at least. Man, though, man, oh man. So the field's staying out again, just trying to get themselves a fighting chance here of anything. My word, the race fans, they have been absolutely finding themselves in the most terrible situations and crazy spots here. Well, race fans, again, looks like we'll have 14 laps left on the docket when they get them fired back up and get ready to go green again here in the Heart to Heart Motorsports IROC Series. If you are new to the channel, again, be sure to like and follow us up here on our Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel here to make sure you never miss a race. I am currently still looking at possibly getting some more shows and maybe even some dirt coverage here on the channel. But it's only just a matter of time and we'll see what we can do. There's one thing I do know my dirt stuff, so. But as we continue along the lines and continue everything down, again, a big thank you to Heart Motorsport. Again, a big thank you as well as Spa Auto Sales, ALC Contractors, Booking Inn Resort, Allentown, Buick, GMC as well. Big thank you to all them, and of course, every single one of you fans and the drivers that attend for these races. The field now squared up on the back straightaway here. Ready to put the pedal down into the metal once more. Dream of Diamond says, do wrecks caused by brake checks. Hammer down, old son. Lord, what will be come of this one now. We have 14 laps to finish the show. Where will we go? It's about to be determined here. Dan Colson going to start on the inside row this time. Lucas Wright is on the outside. Will that play a factor on the 71? Last time when the roles were reversed, it was the 12 that swiped ahead. Will possibly Lucas Wright be in the same boat, same situation? We're about to find out as they come screaming down on the front straightaway once more into the Buchanan Resort restart zone. And green flag back on out, and here we are. Whoa, Wright, terrible start of the gate. Didn't get that thing going. But does get a good draft. He's got a good push here. He's got a huge pusher, and I think you fans know by now who that one is. Kyle right now just doing everything he can to try to get that 71 going. Oh, but he closes it down the inside. He wants to try to work with the 12 for the moment. As Lucas Wright, beautiful push off. He got a huge run there down the back half and got it right ahead of the 12. Colson right now going to have to go into offensive mode again, right back in the position he's been used to all day. And that's been throw it into defensive mode and hold them all off. Campbell, Powell, and them looking on. Probably judging their positions, trying to judge the situation. They got cars coming up on the middle group, trying to get some run going. Nothing going so far. Too far away and not enough back stoppers and pushers to get this thing running. They're going to need help here right now. Looks like we are missing two of them, at least on the lead lap. Scott Cazenave as well as William Martin are both out of contention here at the moment. And it looks like Cazenave may be completely out for the rest of the time being. William Martin, you just saw that too in your top left of your screen. He's rolling, he's charging, just trying to get something dialed in right now. Gonna go on board with Almar on the 9 right now. And again, a lot of these drivers, I've got to believe, are just trying not to find themselves in a bad situation with the brake checks. Maybe looking to try and square the cars away and keep their speeds up and at it. Oh, you can just feel their power, feel that runoff, though. They are absolutely digging their heels into these tires. Robinson up on the outside middle groove. Looking on the outskirts for something. Trying to get everything he can working with him. Steve Harrison, Frank Caruso, and BJ Lane all in that mix. In some way, shape, or form, Ronald Robertson making a big jump around. That's Caruso. Man, you thought maybe our cameras were turning into Fox cameras down there and almost missing something. Caruso, well, I'm not sure what happened with him there, but he got way loose and went down the bottom. I think he's trying to travel hard there to get to Ronald Robertson here. He does indeed here and now, starting to slay the Dragons, if you will, and keep the momentum at bay. BJ Lane looking for an all or nothing shot, really. Robinson right in front of him. Then you got two other guys probably eyeing a position ahead of all of them that were up there really starting this trend to begin with. But my question is, that's a wild card in that number 12. What will Colson decide? If they all go to the outskirts, does he follow with them, or will he stay behind the 71 and wait for the right time to strike? That is going to be the call he'll have to make, because we are now down to the final 10 laps this time on by. Could the momentum be shifting? Could the wind of change possibly be determining something here? That's what we're trying to figure out right here and now. The top 5 right now consists of 3 Fords, 1 Toyota, and 1 Chevy. Robinson, the lone Chevy, and he is the lone driver out of that top 5, working hard to get his thrills and get his momentum kicking in. You got a who's who of them up now trying to push and shove. They're trying to line up the cannon and pretty set for a fire on the attack. Nobody, though, is getting the momentum they're looking for. They're all trying, but could they not be pushing hard enough, I wonder? They got to get it straightened out on the straightaway. Whoa, that was a no-go. Almost got themselves in more trouble than it was worth there. They backed out of it. Robinson able to get stared off and make sure he wasn't going to run into more problems, especially with BJ Lane and Cornpost mixing it up here with Alan Marr, Dudley, and the 31 in Lohmeyer. It's a who's who right now, just trying to get it figured out. But again, that outside groove, the middle groove, is just not working. Could Ronald Robertson be the key? He now moves up there, trying to get something working up in the middle groove. They want to push and shove and everything they can, but they just can't get it. I don't know if it's just a lack of pushing or really it could be something else. I know these things are really hard to control and really hard to master, but at this point, you got under 10 laps to go. There's no slowing down anymore, son. You got to get moving. Robertson backing off as you saw Campbell getting a little bit lopsided, and I think that might have been the factor. But look at Campbell. Is he possibly telling Powell, hey, it's time to make the move? Powell is not leaving that spot, though. He doesn't want to give him an inch. Could it be he maybe is just too afraid of that draft going away? Honestly, if I'm looking at it from this angle, Colson and Wright, they're pushing more and more up. I'm Campbell and Powell. I'm thinking maybe it might be the time to get one big draft going, or maybe that is their strategy. Maybe they're backing off, trying to give them some breathing room so they can set up for the ultimate push. That could be what we're seeing right now. It's Colson. He's judging and looking at his options here. He knows time is not on his side, and it's running out. The daylight will turn into the night, and the speeds will shrink as farther we go. Whoa! Well, they'll shrink a lot quicker when you slap that wall around. Don't matter how many times you say it's a safer barrier, that thing does not give an inch. It slows the car down one way or another. BJ Lane is trying everything he can to get Cornpost, Alan Marr, maybe even William Yoakum to join him. With Robert Dudley there kind of creeping around on the outside. Wait a minute, what happened to Lucas Wright? Where is the 71? What the? How did he end up back here? Hold on a minute. What did I miss back here? We got to go to the replay. Hold on just a second. What has happened to the 71? Hang on just a minute. Take a look right here. Oh! Well, that is a not a spot you want to be in. Glitch Graphic Gremlin decided to take the iRacing Demon's place for a minute and took away the 71. Right, doing an honorable thing, backed out and got it in the middle of the track before coming back. Oh my word, though, that is a terrible, terrible break for the 71 as now Colson has taken the lead. We're down now, ladies and gentlemen, to the final 5 laps. 5 laps is left to need to be completed. The flagman gonna wave down with 5 to go. Oh, Colson right now, 8 spots up. Not the hard charger award recipient. You got to give that nod to Steve Harrison, who's 9 up right now in the 10th position. But at the moment, Lane Powell and Jonathan Campbell, they are literally looking and scourging for one more run. They're going to wait to that last lap. I almost guarantee it here. Ronald Robertson trying to rally the troops, trying to rally the teams, trying to get a slingshot engaged to get up to that front spot. He knows what's up and he knows what to do. He's just hoping and praying for some help. Side drafting off the 14 of Caruso. He's looking to steal every inch of air and speed that he can. Now to the final 4. Here we go. 4 laps left. Again, watch Powell and Campbell. If they see a run, they see something that might not benefit them, they're going to move. I guarantee it. Collison, though, he's in a very unobvious position. That is an inevitable situation to get put into. And Robertson has been slammed in the back, sent to the wall. BJ Lane, I think, might have got a little too close, and that spot might have hit him up. Whoa, look out, look, it's right. He's having all sorts of glitch graphic gremlins taking his place right now. And now that outside groove, the only one left that really to threat is Austin Cornpost. Is Cornpost possibly going to make a run for him? That's going to be a big question. He's looking for some help. He's got help. He's got drivers. He's got Alan Moore. He's got BJ Lane. And he's also got Lohmeyer there. 3 laps left to go. Opportunities running lesser and lesser by the minute. Whoa, there, 4 deep, 3 deep, back and down. Caruso, get back in the groove. Oh, no, definitely. Oh, my goodness. Gets into Lohmeyer. Yellow is out. Yellow is out. And that is not what the leaders or anybody wanted to see at this point. Oh, my goodness. Terrible, terrible break there as Dudley, with nowhere to run onto and nowhere to get out of, finds himself trapped in a terrible spot in a situation here. Let's go to the replay. Look at this, nearly 4 deep there. Marr backed out of it. Cornpost getting in the middle groove. And watch Dudley. He just slips up a little too much and not realizing where Lohmeyer was and just completely taking a nasty collision hit there. Nothing you can do about that, but now this has turned into a green-white checkered situation. We'll take one more look at it. Again, this will, in my opinion, this is all on Dudley, but this is seriously a nasty situation and a problematic position to be put into. And again, you can see the hands there. Notice the hands, they were slightly turning to the right there. And again, that may have just been because he was trying to keep the car straight. Or maybe, just maybe, the aerodynamics of the car were actually forcing him into a bit of a bad spot as he was trying to get squared back up with the field here. Either way, that was not what Dan, Lane, and Campbell wanted to see, and this is now going to be a shootout in my opinion. And it seems though the comment section is not too thrilled as well with this one. Well, they have 2 possible green-white checkered attempts here. We're going to settle for the first one. And again, if you have not been with us here before or know what the green-white checkered attempt is, I will make it very, very clear. A green-white checkered is very simple. You throw the green, you go around the track. Then you're going to see a white flag. And then you're going to finish the race no matter what. Once you see checkers, race is over. It really is that simple. It's just green, white, checkers out. Field preparing themselves for what could be an absolute insane, crazy situation here. Well, race fans, here we go. The time has come. The first of two possible green-white checkers. If they get to the white flag, this one ends no matter what. Pick your drivers, pick your names, pick your favorites. It is about to get heavy around these parts of town. Colson knows what that outside groove can do. He's going to be itching and fighting every chance he gets to keep that lane in check. Powell looking for every opportunity. He has not been to victory lane yet. Came close a couple times. Looking to finish it strong. Corn Post. Well, what else can you say about that guy? He has been absolutely a unit in the season and tough to derail. Campbell, despite missing the numbers, he doesn't want to miss out on a chance to victory lane. It all comes down to this. Someone behind them could make a run for it. They could make the show. Off the front straightaway into the Buchanan Resort. Restart zone. Green flag drops one last time, maybe for the final time today. Lane's got to run. Needs a big push. Dan's going up, trying to block it. He's trying to stop the aerodynamics to that front, but he can't get enough. Now he's going to need Campbell to help him. Lane's looking for his move. Does he stay? No, he goes to the bottom. He's got the race lead. Corn Post right on the outside with Bud Light Mike as Bud Light Mike looking for his run in this one. Trying to execute a big drive off the lane there. Corn Post getting in a trap situation. He's stuck and he Oh! Woo! 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 Oh, they hang on. Can they get it to the white flag? No, they can't. Oh, yellow, yellow, yellow. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, oh, my goodness. The big one strikes. And it went with a huge strike there. Oh, oh, my goodness. Tire down on the 71 here and a massive, massive wreck here once again. Oh, my goodness. Corn Post did everything he possibly could to avoid it, but that one was not going to happen here. Let's take a look right here. There was the save. I thought we might have got it through. And looks like Corn Post, yep, he just went right over to the 14. He had it saved, and then he didn't. Oh, Benny Jones, man. Oh, my goodness. Talk about a lick and a hit he took there. Oh, my goodness. This will be their last green-white checker attempt, but, man, if I am anyone in that 11 camp right now, I am smashing everything in that cockpit. Just hoping for that break. Look at the save, though. Again, just the fact. You saw how sideways Bud Light Mike was, and the fact that he saved it in that position, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable, folks. Absolute pure calamity and insanity there, folks. My word. Well, I don't know how the 20. He's even trying to drive the way he is right now, but he's got a whole roof flap that he needs to knock down on the hood. Benny, I probably would go to pit road right now and get that squared up, my friend. I don't think you want to have that up there, man. Well, while he figures that part out, Lane Powell will be your race leader. Dan Colson is going to be in the second spot. We saw what Dan did earlier. And with this being the final green-white checkered, wherever they end this, that'll be the end of it no matter what. But my word, race fans, this has just been absolute pure chaos on every front. Sometimes that can be a good thing. Sometimes not so much. A friend of mine once put it best. If you're the one that's in the driver's seat and it's not something you worry about, you're the happiest you can be. When the shoe is on the other foot, not so much. So, race fans, for one final time, no more after this. This is all they get. These drivers will finish this one way or another. But who is going to take the top spot away? This time around, we will end this race no matter what flag comes out after the green. We'll bring him down the front straightaway here. With one right now blind as a bat, the other looking to send this one as fast as a cat to the green flag. We wave. Oh my goodness, now they're going to wreck there right to the line. Colson's going to try to fight off too. Yellow is out. This one's over. This one is over. What will be the decision between Dan and Lane Powell here? Did Lane hold off Dan long enough, or did they throw it on Dan? Whoa, controversy down here in Talladega. The caution lights flickered on after a massive situation here. I have no idea who on earth started that. But we're going to go look at this one. Take a look at it one more time. Who started this mess? Whoa, right there. There it is. That was the 8. Ronald Robertson just plowed right into the back, and I'm not trying to be figurative when I say this, but almost kind of like what Kevin Harvick had to do way back when. And I don't know how to say this, but I don't agree with that move at all. We'll take one more look at it here from another camera. Yeah, right there. There was the bump. There was the hit. And that pretty much all but did it. Although making sure I'm seeing this right. Yeah, that was all in the 8th there. Everyone checked up though. I will give him that break. But when did the caution come out? All right, caution's gonna come out right about. Looks like right there. Yep. Oh boy. Well, race fans, and for the folks that wanted to throw him into the basement, I think you should probably avoid that for this week. It's going to go to the number 12. The unofficial results are going to call for Dan Colson to win this race. That is what I'm getting word right now. That is what they timed it. Controversy at its biggest point here tonight, though. BJ Lane going to go third. Lane Powell going to go second, and Dan Colson going to get this one. Wow. That's really all I can say at this point. That unfortunately is not how you ever want to see a race go down to, and you know it is what it is. But Dan Colson will take this race win and take the victory. But I got a feeling a lot of drivers will be having some talks here tonight. What a terrible break there, unfortunately, causing the situation to happen and this to end up going the way it did. We'll talk with our top 3 if they decide to here in just a moment. Looks like Dan might have actually lost power down there. I think he might be out of fuel. All right, well, maybe not. Or he was just getting a little love tapped from the 00 there. Well, the race results are now officially in. And despite some very disturbing controversy here, we will take it to our Allen T. Buick GMC results. And again tonight, Dan Collison, despite under the situation, he will take the win. Lane Powell once more will go for second. BJ Lane going to go into third. Ronald Robertson going to go fourth. Andrew Lohmeyer going to get fifth. Vincent Short finishing sixth. Benny Jones seventh, despite having a whole roof flap on the top of his car. I think that might be the best finish I've ever seen anyone get from that. Eighth will go to William Martin. Ninth goes to Lucas Wright. And 10th will go to Jonathan Campbell, rounding out the top 10. Wow. Well, I think he'll take it. He's going to celebrate it down there. Just one last thing left to do here, folks. We're going to chat with our drivers here, and I got a feeling a lot of them are probably going to be very interested to chat in this one here. We'll go ahead and start here, race fans, with our third place finisher here tonight. Race fans, this is BJ Lane now joining me here onto the show. And BJ, man, talk about absolute pure insanity there and situation that kind of hung up over the speedway here tonight. But coming away today third, definitely got to be something at least you're least happy to get around with tonight.
Yeah, I tell you what, it definitely was a difficult night. Just tried to kind of stay in the back there early on and keep a steady pace and, fall into line later on. And luckily, I had a fast repair because I did get a little damage on that last little caution and was able to get it fixed and continue on to get into the podium.
Continue on to get to the podium indeed. And BJ, I mean, all night long, man, you've certainly found yourself in quite a few tight dilemmas there. Yeah, I ended up getting into there with Vincent Short in the 15 a little earlier on, and then, of course, having to deal with the traffic kind of pushing it back in your way. I mean, talk me through just how hard it was just to be able to kind of keep this car in check, let alone be able to kind of stay away from too much trouble when you could.
with these cars, you definitely have to keep a little bit of a gap in between the car in front of you, or you can either cause them to spin or cause yourself to spin. It seems like it has a little air bubble all the way around the car. So, being very consistent and keeping enough of a gap in between the car beside you while they're racing beside you definitely plays a big part.
For sure there. Well, BJ, man, I mean, I'm glad to have you here in the top three tonight, at least be able to kind of give us a sample of less of the chaos. But who do you want to thank here tonight for the third place finish?
Sir, I wouldn't be able to hit this top three off without all of my teammates and Scott, my dad, Bobby, Austin, AK, all them guys with the admin team. Everybody just spending the time to help me practice and make me get better. I just want to thank my wife for letting me race. I want to thank all of the sponsors of Heart to Heart Motorsports for everything they do to make this league possible and to be able to put on a good broadcast. I appreciate you guys for doing the broadcast and the race control. Couldn't ask for anything better. So I appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. BJ, man, congratulations taking on home for a top three tonight, buddy.
Sir, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 00 tonight, BJ Lane. Well, we have a little bit of one left to talk with before we got to our leader, but I do not see our number 11 driver here tonight. I don't think he's going to be joining us here, so I think we'll go ahead and move over. Honestly, I don't blame Lane Powell either for this, unfortunately, but we will now bring it down here to Dan Colson here. And Dan, I mean, obviously, I know this wasn't the way. Obviously, anybody wants to win a race here, but at the end of the day, you got just ahead there of Lane there off the restart before the caution came out. I mean, talk me through kind of what was going through your mind before that thing kind of started going out.
Well, I was just trying to get a good start. I'll be honest with you, I think he brake checked me a little bit, but no harm, no foul. Just tried to stay clean. I'll be honest with you, I just came in here wanting to just get a top five. You know how these races are, you just never know what's going to happen, but I think I ran a good race. I just kept I don't think I put a scratch on the car and just tried to run a good race and let the cards fall way they may,
Fall the way they may indeed. I know this was definitely a long road you had to deal with tonight. Obviously, it seemed like on that outside lane you had quite a bit of good restarts, like falling it back to what you had with Lucas Wright earlier on, and then having to follow him back in. I mean, man, all night long it seemed like you had a good idea of how to get these restarts figured out, and it seemed like it paid off in the end for you.
Yeah, I think the top line, for some weird reason, had more of an advantage on the restart. It wasn't about getting a gap or anything. It was just, I don't know. It was, to be honest with you, I can't explain it because I thought the inside would have the advantage, but I did it to Lucas. Lucas did it to me. I think Lane did it to me. One restart, all the guys that started on the outside, if you noticed, they all got a jump and was able to get on the inside. So I can't figure it out, to be honest with you.
For sure there. Well, man, hey, at this point, the only thing I guess you needed to figure out was you got your top five, and not only that, you got into victory lane. So, damn,
hell yeah, baby.
Thinking for, buddy.
You know what they say, even a blind squirrel gets lucky and grabs a nut once in a while, right?
Certainly is the case, and a broken clock does work twice in a day.
Yes, he's right. You're right, yeah. It was a good race, I think I kept it clean, and that's what you got to do with these places, right? You just got to, hold a straight wheel and make smart decisions, Don't get too carried away, and you'll be there to the end of the race,
Absolutely, indeed. Well, nevertheless, at the end of the day, Dan, you're going to be the one that comes out on top of all of it here tonight. Congratulations getting to victory lane, and we'll see you next time out.
All right, buddy. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the number 12, Dan Colson, taking it on home to victory lane. And even though I know he is not chatting with us here, it seems though wants to chat, I will say this real quick for Lane Powell, is that if next week he wants to have a quick interview with us before the race or anything like that, we will definitely bring him in for the fans, because I know you fans out there probably want to hear from Lane, but we will leave him alone tonight and let him be. I think he probably wants to take some time to himself. So, race fans, we'll kind of give it that in this situation here. A terrible break for him and the rest of the crew, and I know you fans out there obviously wanted to have something in that situation. But nevertheless, race fans, that is going to be the end tonight for our Heart to Heart Motorsport coverage here of the IROC Series. If you have enjoyed the coverage, again, be sure to check us out for the next race here. We will be putting up the next set of streams here for them here very soon. But until next time, race fans, just take care of yourselves, and we will see you when the green flag flies right here on Speed Zone TV.